Hey, box of paint. Hi. Hope it's been a good weekend. I hope it's been a good weekend for you as well. Otto! Hello! It was 30 yesterday and 21 today, so it was nice having a day of summer, and then it's back to normal. We've been having some really decent weather for the last few days. It's really nice coming from 30 plus degrees. It's like sticky. Ugh. How hot is it? Not hot 18C, but I switched. Yeah. Sorry, I'm looking for a thing in here, and it was hidden. I went to grab a fan from behind something, and it just nosedived off a box and smashed into pieces. What? Whoa. The cats loved it. Had to be sort of high up because our windows open out, and if it's in the bottom window, a tiny demon likes to hang out of the window. Ooh. So it fell down and just broke into pieces. chunks flew everywhere. It definitely wasn't a little thing. And parts that looked really important were cracked. Oh no. But what was it made of? Plastic? That was really annoying because you're like, oh, it's not, you know, it's not an object that has any kind of emotional value or whatever, usually. But it definitely has a circumstantial value in the sense that now you're hot and have no fans. It was mostly plastic, metal on the inside, I know. Yeah, plastic can get brittle. Not emotional, but it's not like a toaster where you have other options. Yeah. Ew. Someone outside just made the most gross, like, throat clearing sounds. I had an unpleasant encounter the other night. I was outside just before bed, and I was, giving snacks and pets to Chaz and Shiro. And just to make the situation a bit more visual, let me get a... So let's assume this is my front lawn of sorts. This is the door. Okay, this is the door. And you have kind of a path. Here you have like bushes, and that's the sidewalk. Okay, so there you have me. There you have Shiro. And here you have Chablis. Or Chaz. So I'm here, and I'm turned towards Chaz, and I'm petting him. And I hear a kind of a weird, yappy, gargly noise behind me. So I turn around to Shiro, and in Shiro's face there is what I assume is some sort of Chihuahua or Chihuahua mix that's yapping and like growling straight right in her face. Like, and Shiro is all like crouched back, and she's like, what's that? And so here you have the ugly little doggo. And so I go like, whoa, and the doggo's owner, will aptly name her Karen, is on the sidewalk, and she goes like, oh, he's not mean. And the little monster eventually goes back to her. And I was like he really went like a good 2-3 meters within the lawn. So I asked Karen, I'm like, is he on a leash? And she's like, yes, he's on the leash. Look, here's the leash. And I'm like, okay, well, it's kind of a slack leash. And she's like, no, it's not all that slack, blah, blah, blah. And I was... she like walked away, Karen, with her stupid dog, and Cheryl was fine. I mean, she was surprised, of course, but if she had decided to attack the ugly dog, I think the ugly dog would have been the loser in this situation. Because I think Cheryl was slightly bigger than the dog. And it's just so unnerving because like a lot of people walk their dogs around here. That's not exactly a rare sight, but most of them that I see, they're either keeping the dog really close to them, or if the dog has some like roaming freedom, it's usually dogs that are absolutely not interested in other people. Like, they will go sniff the grass and sniff the trees, but they will never come close to me. But this little thing made a dash straight for the cats on the lawn and had like endless leash to get there. And I'm just like, okay, sure, it's a small dog. It's more limited in the damage it can cause than a bigger dog, I guess. But it's still not a it's still an animal, you know. I think the same of cats. But cats, at least cats have more of a flight reaction to situation rather than fight. Whereas that stupid little dog was really itching for a fight of some sort. But he's up in my friend's face over here. Yeah, exactly. Chihuahua eyeballs. And I swear, I think we saw the lady again. Like, this was at night, so I couldn't see her very well. I had, since we don't really have, like, exterior lights, I had my headlamp and had that on, so I was trying really hard to blind the lady with it. Because why not? But yeah, I couldn't see the lady really well. It was mostly like the voice, the vibe, and the dog. And I think we saw her again yesterday in daylight. And I saw the dog in daylight too, and I'm like, I'm not a big dog person to begin with, but I think this was an especially ugly dog. It looked like a sort of a Chihuahua, possibly mixed with another small dog. It was a bit overweight, and it had a kind of a toupee thing going on, a bit like Trump, you know, like a fluffy tuft of hair on top of its head. Not unlike Boris Johnson or Trump. It's crazy to me that humans bred in the dogs to bark. Yeah. It's also crazy to me that like something like that ugly specimen is still considered a dog. Like, cats are pretty more streamlined in terms of features, but dogs can be really like all over the place. Like, it's wild the range of features you can get for dogs. So I'm always stunned when I see, you know, something like that like that Chihuahua is a dog, and I'm like, oh, really? Like, I see people with like huskies, like corgis, other doggos that are infinitely more dog-like than that little rat. In defense of some dog barks, if a stranger walked into our driveway, Annie would do one single woof and it stopped the people. But some breeds bark at everything. Yeah, that's the thing. Like Chihuahua. Small dogs can be really barky, and it's like, why? Chihuahuas are one of them. My mom had 3 and 2 of them never stopped ever. Oh my gosh. It sounds nightmarish. You moved the bark. Shut up! It's just me moving! Stop barking, okay? The wind blew, he barked. So Edinburgh has a Chihuahua cafe. And the owner must be an amazing owner because she has 7, 8, and none of them bark. They are awfully cute though, but they were a lot. I think, I don't know, that's my perception of them, but a bit like humans, within Chihuahuas, there are some that will be really cute and there are some that will be a bit less fortunate. it's a very, very small line between like, oh, but the eyes are too big and bulging, and the cranium is just a bit too small, so it's even worse. And there's it's a really like matter of small ratios of proportions. But I mean, I can see, like, I saw this morning, I saw a small dog that I would say was cute. It was like my Malamute mix. All the training in the world couldn't stop him from jumping 5 feet in the air when he saw you. Oh. Yeah, it's a bit like golden retrievers. I think there's no amount of training that will take the hype out of a dog like that. But I think mostly that's the issue. Like, a lot of people who get dogs, and it happens a lot with small dogs, but it also happens with all dogs, but they go like, oh, I have a small dog, so I don't really need to train the dog. It's going to be manageable because it's small. But it's not a physical thing, it's a psychological thing. It's like they kind of need more structure, I think, and like a hierarchy. My Boston Terrier wasn't wappy. He had a real dog bark and only used it when it was necessary. Yeah, that's fine. If I can teach my cats to sit for dinner, you can teach your dog to not be of my business. Oh, yeah. And of course, like, Karen has to be one of a very stereotypical look. I think there was two ladies who have / had Chihuahuas in this area. I think one has moved, but I think we nicknamed both of them Karen, and it fits for both of them. And in both cases, the dog was not trained at all. So yeah, that was my odd experience. And I mean, in itself, it's not a lot, but it's the fact that it happened right before going to bed too. Like, I was really like way too riled up to be able to sleep well right away. So I was like, thanks, Karen. Understandably, hubby was less stressed, but I've always been stressed about when and where my dogs can be leadless. Hey, hi! Tarot by Semaj? Or is it James flipped around? Welcome, welcome! Out in the country, sure. Out on the trail with bikers and things, nope. Yeah, it's I see quite a few dogs that have a leash or a lead, but that the human just drops. And luckily, so far, the 2 cases I've seen around here, the dog is really super chill and super well behaved. But I've also been jumped by a dog that was not on a leash. And I feel like for everyone's safety, including the dog, it's a whole lot safer to have them on the lead. Unless it's at a dog park or something, you know, a place where it's... Dog parks are usually fenced in and it's, you know, it's safer. My babies tend to be good. Had one with the Call of the Wild, the second he was outside. But I still want to make sure someone happens. Yeah. Something, yeah. And I mean, it's still an animal, whether it's a cat, a dog, or anything. You never know how they will react or what will cause them to, you know, jump and bite, scratch someone. Or something, or another pet, or, you know. Guess that was correct. Oh, thank you so much. In NYC. We can only have dogs off leash in the parks between 6 and 9 a.m. Oh, really? Huh. So I wonder if, since that's accepted, is everybody having their dogs off leash during those times? I think over here it's not necessarily accepted, but some people will do it regardless. Year-round, they only get a 3-hour window of... Yeah, but that's fine. It's good that there's that, because otherwise I don't really see how you can get your dog to do a lot of exercise in a city as compact as New York. No, not everyone is, but it is allowed. Okay, good. Usually only happens in Central Park or the larger parks. All parks, though, do have a dog run too for an enclosed. Oh, that's lovely. Huh. That's a good idea, really. For big dogs and little dogs, so they don't intermingle or get hurt on either side. Yeah, I've seen that too here, though. It's not, I don't think there's that many dog parks here, but it's, the one that I saw is a repurposed baseball pitch that has been like fully fenced in, and they have like some sort of enrichment things for the dogs to run around, jump over, play with. But there's also another fenced-in area next to it, and I think it's so that depending on your dog's behavior, you can opt in for the high-energy area or the more, low-key area. The second area doesn't have any enrichment element. It's mostly just grass. They need a chance to run and be goofy, and I see some joggers that break the rule, but their dogs are stuck to their sides like glue. Yeah. I mean, at that point, if the dog is that stuck to their owner's side, like, if it makes you wonder, like, where's the leash when you see the dog, because it looks like the dog is on a leash, but it's not. think with the runners, the dog are in work mode mentally, so they aren't trying to find something fun to do. Maybe. How's the weather in New York? I hope you're getting some of this little cooling of the temperature we're getting here north of you. I'm seeing quite a few people who are running their dogs by biking with them. And I'm always curious to, like, I'd love to read the dog's thought to see if they're enjoying this or if they're like, oh no, this is way too fast. I have to keep up. You know, panic mode. And obviously it is hot as heck the last few weeks, and today the weather is very mild. So delightful after yeah, I feel you. Like, it was like that until Thursday. Like, really hot, really like clammy and gross, and then whoop, dropped to just a bit over 20 Celsius. Hey campers, hop. Hey, Ellen! No! Oh, that's so annoying when the washing machine gives up. Is it something a good swift kick can fix? It was living in a sauna. Everything was so clammy. My neighbor's only way of controlling his mastiff before was about 4 was to turn me on by biking with Pete. Yeah, but a mastiff is a big dog. I've seen people bike with like a beagle. Petey still goes for the occasional ride with his dad. That's lovely. Bro, a mastiff could almost like pull your bike for you. And the washer is a POS we got on the cheap 8 years and 4 days ago. User's manual says lifespan is 8 to 6 years. Wow, that's so on the nose. That's what Scotty would do pretty much. He would pull him along from the time of his life. Oh, that's lovely. A week ago my cat got out and got injured. Oh no! Now he's here with an e-collar around his neck as his bandage. Aww. You won't allow me to put it back on, so instead... The collar. Is it a cone? Is it the donut? It's an e-collar. One of my cats has been really affected by allergies, so she had to wear her donut yesterday. So it's like a cone, but instead of being a cone shape, it's an inflatable kind of donut shape. It makes her look like a little flower cat. She's so cute with it, but she hates it. She hates it so much. Isn't too happy with it. They didn't have the donuts, so they gave him a flexible color. The donuts do work though. They are very cute. They are so cute. I'm just bummed that they're not all by default made to look like an actual donut with sprinkles on it. Bear had one after getting fixed. Rahimi got an entire outfit. Yeah, when I get fixed here, they call it the cone of shame. Yeah, same here. When my cats got fixed, one of them had to have a collar on because she kept pulling her stitches, like in a very clueless "I'm an orange cat with one brain cell" kind of way. She's like, "Oh, what's this on my belly? Pull, pull. Oh, that's weird. Pull. Oh, that's such a weird feeling. Pull, pull." And we're like, "Stop pulling your stitches. Like, the wound is still fresh. What are you doing?" The other cat was just pissed. She was just like in loaf in hidden under things and growling at us. I've heard of folks putting on shirts for infants on their cats instead of a cone. It's stupid. It really depends on what you're trying to prevent the cat from doing, I guess. Right, there's the marketing plan right there. Seriously, you can have a different flavor of donuts with sprinkles. Well, it's an orange cat, so you know the struggle is real. Yeah, that one brain cell was working overtime. Hemi got a onesie. We have a video of putting it on her, and it sounds like we are fighting back the kids. Oh, I hope she didn't have to wear it too long. Oh no, poor Emmy. It was 2 frigging months. 2 months? Oh, why? Was it also to prevent Bear from tapping the milk bar? Meanwhile, my formerly feral tuxedo is manipulating me for more time in the porch in the evening by power pooping. It's in the bathroom just before bed. You know. Why are cats the way they are? Oh. Once Maria had to have a benign lump removed from the back of her neck. She, as expected, hated the comb of shame and was freaking out about it. Aww. So I said, "Listen, cat, if I take this off and put a bandage around your neck, do you promise not to scratch it? Take it off." Surprisingly, she was as good as gold, and oh wow. way he glares at me while he's doing it is both hilarious and adorable. That's so funny. The onesie was for her stitches after she'd been fixed. We were in the beginning of COVID, so had to do it all over the phone and take pictures of her stitches every few days. Put the damn onesie back on. That's kind of like, what, how long did you say? 2 months. That's a really long time. I think, perhaps she was older. She was not a kitten, right? It was after she had the babies. So maybe that's why. I don't know any pets that like the cone. I tried putting it on the opposite way so he has more eyesight. Hoping it keeps seeing. That's not a bad idea, to be honest. Really depends on what's the area you're trying to protect. Like if it's on their face, you really have to make sure they can't scratch themselves. But if it's picking at something on their body, then you have more options, I feel. Carl and Annie both, my dad donuts, loved them and treated them like portable pillows. That's what I keep telling Scout. I'm like, but it's your portable pillow. Now you have a pillow with you everywhere you go. And she just looks at me completely dejected. But the cone, Carl would line up with the kitchen door and run full blast and shatter it. Oh, wow. Oh, that's funny. Dangerous, but funny. I feel like that kind of plastic could definitely hurt you. The donut lets them eat and drink normally, and they can move. Yeah, exactly. And it's really less cumbersome. It doesn't, which is kind of funny with cats, but it doesn't mess up their perception of things through their whiskers too much. So sometimes they can get stuck, or they'll try to, there's a space that will seem okay to pass through, but actually is not. But it's still much better than the cone. The cones, they get really messy too. Like the food gets in it and ugh. So do you guys have any plans for the weekend? You have to go to an appliance store tomorrow. No. Is it a top-loading washing machine or front-loading machine? But I've been working 4 shifts of 10. Ooh. So I get 3-day weekends all summer. That's awesome. Old school top load. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a lot of water to drain out. Is it that kind of schedule because it's summer? Like it's the summer school schedule. Thankfully, I used to have fish tanks. I can siphon like a champ. And yeah, no kids in the building, so it's reno maintenance and deep clean time. Oh, sounds like the best best moment to be in a school. I remember I always loved when I was in grade school, primary school. And you know, either you have a what's the word I'm looking for? Like extracurricular activities, so you're at school later than everyone else after things are done. So you get to kind of experience the school with nobody in it, and like some areas the lights are shut down, and I always felt kind of eerie to see this side of the building. Made the mistake of letting my boss know that I know how to chemically strip a waxed floor, and now he's all over getting a few rooms stripped down to the bare tile. Thankfully, I don't mind doing it. What would be the advantage of stripping the rooms to the bare tile? Yeah, it sounds like it's a lot of work, really. I mean, if he pays you extra for it. His sister is trying to talk him into going to Wales. He doesn't want to go yet, so that's lots of text of precision. What's happening in Wales that's warranting a visit? Never let the boss know you have. Yeah, sadly yes. Wax builds up and yellows over time, absorbs dirt, gets gunky looking. Also gets chunks out of it over time. Ew. It can be buffed out to a great degree with walk behind machine, but still. Go to Wales. Oh my god, it's beautiful. In-laws bought a house there when hubby was at uni and they no longer want to rent to student but sell. Oh, I see. Renting to students sounds like it can be both great but also terrible, catastrophic, but also about 5 hours. Oh, isn't there a high-speed train or something that can do that but faster? And she wants to go do the stuff and come back all in a day. Just with that kind of driving time, that doesn't sound... It's longer on the train. How did we mess up trains so bad, really? It really shouldn't be longer on the train, technically. We went to Wales on our trip to a seaside port called Porthmadog. Probably not how you say that. Totally sorry. The new bypass to get down there from Holyhead was a dream to drive after rural Ireland, at least. I'm gonna have to find some references for this one because I'm really struggling with drawing a big rolling wave during a storm. I need to get some more prints out of this. Ooh! Hey, Jen! Hello! How's your day so far, Jen? My dog is near Snowdonia National Park, which is a dark sky. Ooh. And a narrow gauge excursion reload. Oh, that sounds lovely. You made it! Wales is lovely. I mean, it sounds lovely. It's going okay putting together a compass. Ooh, is it the follow-up to the one you've shown me? There's quite a substantial delay between filming and it showing in the live, so it's not really something I can fix. Nah, different one. Pirates. Ooh! Pirates, that's good. Oh, Jen! I started a new sketchbook, and again, you are fully represented on this one. It's just so nice. Nice. Everybody kept noticing the little ones I had on the previous sketchbooks. I was like, let's go full sticker. This one is from Box of Paint. I hate this anymore. I'm not gonna complain. It's really important to have stickers on all of my sketchbooks. The need for stickers on sketchbooks is real. I keep a backlog of stickers around just for that. Yep, that's the same for me. It's the only way I can sort of differentiate what's in each of them, because I end up having quite a few of the same model. I think all in all I had 3 like this one. So if I don't put stickers on them, how am I supposed to remember which is which? And I also put some on the side, and I put the dates. So yeah, stickers. And I also put some on this one that I haven't really started yet. This one has a sticker from Otto on it. Mainly because it helps me remember which one I'm currently using. That too. Yep. I like to keep my fun stickers for the front, but also sometimes I have like branding stickers, or you know, stickers that are okay but not the most fun, so I put those on the back. You didn't send me one, but I bought one of your Team Pigment Nerd stickers from Redbubble way back then. So I have the Dean yelling, Stay Home Club, a socks, a mirror sticker, and a Fenris. I held on to it for this long, but I was like, oh, I have a black sketchbook. Perfect spot for a transparent sticker with white text on it. Perfecto. A good friend of mine raided my Instagram account and made me stickers of my cat. Oh, that's so sweet. That's such a cute idea. Misty having his little face on my water flask legit helps me to remember to hydrate. I finally put a sticker on my big water bottle, and I think it's a fitting one. I have space for a lot more sticker, but I'm really going with my instinct on this one. Do it for Oreo, I said to myself. That one is so really. Give me a couple of years and yep. Oh, this lamp is generating a significant amount of heat. Never really noticed. Hmm. Oh, I'm gonna bring back a classic. What was something really tasty that you've eaten in the last week? I think for me it would be the sorbet we can get. That's my favorite is. I'm gonna say my favorite ice cream because it's not exactly a sorbet like you would sorbet anyway. It's chocolate and coconut, but it's made in a way that it doesn't taste like coconut too much. And it's like a very delicious dairy-free chocolate ice cream. So that's my winner for the last week. Sounds delicious. It's really delicious, and it's a small, like, local company that makes it. I tend to be really picky with coconut stuff. It's really hit or miss. I wouldn't think it was, but I'm realizing that there are some things that I can eat without any issues and that they have coconut in it, and there are other things with coconut that I eat and they will immediately make me like a bit queasy. Hubby brought home cupcake. Oh, that were split and filled with cherry compote. Ooh, and had really cherry chunks in the buttercream. Wow, that's fancy. Oh, that sounds delicious. We had a barbecue at the school for all of us custodians this week. Ooh, has so much left over though that we invited the construction. Oh, that's lovely. That's so much fun. I bet they were really happy. Like, oh my gosh, who isn't happy with free barbecue? Did you also have a like corn on the cob as part of the barbecue? I don't know if you have a name for it in English, but we have a type of summer party that we called une épluchette de blé d'Inde, which is basically a party where you haul in huge bags of corn on the cob and everybody peels the corn on the cob, and there are big boilers outdoors and you sort of cook the corn and eat the corn, and it's just everybody eating fresh corn. When I worked at a day camp ages ago, there was always one of the event in the summer that was a big épluchette de blé d'Inde for the kids, and it was always such a fun mayhem day. Of like the kids liked it, we liked it. It was sort of a special event that would occupy part of the day, and then we would have sorts of games, or we would go to the pool, and it was just a really fun day overall. But oh my gosh, I think I was a teen and I ate like 11 corn on the cob through the afternoon. We had so much corn. nothing special, but I think I have a superpower where I can make a salad so good that men will eat their veggies willingly. And we don't have corn going just yet here in Ontario. Soon though. Oh man. You're a salad wizard. I ordered Chinese food for dinner before dinner. Oh, that sounds lovely. Sesame chicken and fried rice. Oh, I'm introducing a little more meat in my diet again, just a little bit. But oh my jeez. I know what you mean. I'm eating significantly more meat than I used to do, but again, I try to be wise about it, like 8 times out of 10, let's say. So a neighboring town literally has a corn fest. Get what the main food choice is. Corn on a cob. But it's so good. Like fresh in season corn on the cob here in Eastern Canada is so good. It's so sweet and juicy. I come from a town that's named Sorel in Quebec. It used to be named Saint-Pierre-de-Sorel, but now it's just Sorel. And the local dish is something that is called giblotte, which basically translates to how would I translate the giblotte in English? You know when you find a puddle as a kid and you dump all kinds of stuff in the puddle and you make a big kind of soup of whatever? That's one use we have for the word giblotte. Is basically putting a bunch of things together in something that is rather liquid. But the Sorel giblotte is a stew with a lot of veggies in it, potatoes and white fish. And the main sort of broth is tomato based. It's amazing. Perth County peach. Oh, dude, no peaches. You guys have the bestest peaches. Ontario peaches are amazing. They're so hard to find like good ones here in Quebec, but whenever you can find good ones, they're mind blowing. I'm getting hungry. Like it's mental hunger because I'm not physically hungry. Oh no, the corn variety is called peaches and cream. But yes, Ontario peaches are amazing too. I think we might get some of that variety of corn here too, but I don't remember what we call our variety of corn. I know it's something like 2 colors, let's say, or 3 colors, but I don't remember if we have fancy names for it. Aren't sure why exactly, but our corner shop has Japanese Fanta and bro, the Japanese Fanta is amazing. Peach is so good. The American pineapple Fanta is also amazing. Peaches are one of those fruits where they are only amazing and meh peaches. Well, I mean, is there a fruit that is not like that? I feel like apples are, yeah, hold on. I think perhaps bananas are, oh, you can eat okay, I can't. Oh, nope. Okay, follow-up questions. Apples and citrus in the fridge or not? Sometimes grapes are a little meh. The thing is with grapes that are a little meh, you can pop them in the freezer and freeze them up. And that will cover up for the fact that they might be a bit soft or something. Citrus, yes. Apples, no. Really? Apples on the counter? Huh. In America, all my fruit went in the fridge. UK, none of them do except the lemons. Really? What's the main difference? This is turning out to be a much more a more interesting question than I thought it would be. I put it all in the fridge. The only things that I leave out are bananas and everything that needs to ripen. But once it's ripe, or once I get it here, it goes in the fridge. Oh, culture. Yeah, but I mean, culture is one thing, but if you, let's say you prefer cold oranges, well, that shouldn't change from one country to the next. Apples don't tend to last long around here, and I avoid putting tomatoes in the fridge if possible. Oh, I don't really buy tomatoes, so that one I can't say. And by don't last long, I mean you eat a lot of them. Yeah, I would think they taste better when cool, but I guess that's just a matter of preference. Interesting. Out of curiosity, Boxapane, do you still vote in the US elections? Most of my tomatoes during the summer come from the garden, so we feast while we can and make salsa. That sounds lovely. Garden, like stuff you grow yourself, is always so much better. Though there are things like, I feel like if you have a garden fresh watermelon, it's gonna taste so much better once it's cooled down a bit. But I mean, that might just be me. I voted twice in US elections since I moved, but last one I got a letter saying my vote wouldn't count unless it was a too close to call situation in Texas, which basically meant thanks but nothing. Ugh. There is nothing better than a tomato that is still warm from the sun. I mean, if you say so. I can see why that would be appealing. It's just not something. Shouldn't each vote count equally and not if they can do it? I mean, probably Otto, but this is the American voting system we're talking about. Meanwhile, my friend who married the Aussie had to help him get an exemption from voting there, so he didn't get a fine. Summer tomatoes are the best. They just taste like sunshine. I remember the feeling of like helping my mom pick up tomatoes from the garden that was still warm. And it is a very comforting, like it's warm, it's bright color, everything is warm. But it's a tomato. That's what I thought. I have a friend from Texas who lives up the road and she did not get the letter. But she wasn't a citizen at the time here. Oh, USA voting system is interesting. That's a very polite way of putting it. Oh, it's gonna be a messy couple of months / years, depending. I'm preparing myself for the every 4 years 2 months crash course to try to explain to the Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's just say it's not necessarily based on common sense. They can't even agree on how to vote in each state. Good luck to you. I did find the Old America, the book that the Daily Show published, was quite helpful and funny to figure out how it all worked. It is very flawed. Just the fact that corporate money is allowed in elections is just sickening. They say in this cycle more than 3.5 billions will be spent. Ugh. There are so many better ways to use that money. That's the part that I find depressing. Sorry about that. It's not a good way to spend money. How much better might that money be used for the people and making better a society at large? I guess yeah, no, I agree with you. That's so much money. It's like the people with the most money are also the ones who seem to have their priority the most skewed. And it's so disheartening. There is a brand here that makes something like that. It's chocolate and coconut milk. Ooh! It's a good flavor combo, but it can really be difficult to balance. Like there's a recipe online that calls it like vegan fudge or whatever, and it's basically you melt chocolate that is dairy free and you add coconut oil in it to make it a bit more fudgy, but actually it only makes it a bit more fat, and that one is really not that good. But there's a lot of other like food things you can make with coconut and chocolate that are amazing. Like the candy bar bounty is a very solid idea. It's flawed in its execution because it's cheap and it's overly sweet, but if you could find a good quality bounty knockoff, that would be amazing. Yeah, any kind of big political, electoral debacle is always a bit depressing. I heard that corn on the cob is very American. Almost no one else outside Mexico eats it on the cob. Is this the case? I mean, it's eaten over here in like the Ontario and Quebec, and I don't know for the western part of the country, but I have grown up with corn on the cob in the summer. I see it over here for barbecues and things, but elotes, is that the name for it in Spanish? So much going on the cob in Ontario. So much. Yeah. When it's in season at the farmer's market, it used to be you could, I don't know how much it is now, gotta be like $2 or something, but it used to be like someone would boil them on the spot and you could buy a like fresh corn on the cob, freshly boiled for $1. That's a good kind of street food. I mean, all street food is good, but this one is possibly a tidbit more healthy. This elotes along with that and a delicious huitlacoche that you can find sometimes. I remember how delicious that was. It's Mexican truffles essentially. Ooh. My favorite are the roadside stands that run on the honor system for payment. Yeah, I really like that. we get them for fruit, veggies, and honey sometimes in season. And oh, that's just lovely. I remember like stopping by the side of the road to get a very fresh pint of strawberries or blueberries or a bushel of apples or corn. Ah, the good stuff. Huitlacoche sounds much nicer in Spanish than corn smut. I miss living in a country with good fruits. What? What do you mean? Raisins are great fruit, aren't they? Blech. Are there really no good fruits grown in the UK? And if you're not paying your maple syrup from an Amish man on the side of the road, well, I've never bought my maple syrup correctly, sadly. Though, I get it from what are they called? A sericulteur? Anyway, it's a farm that is located in the village where I first lived, and my grandparents lived, and my dad grew up. So I'm okay with that. I'm not sure about up north, but before Brexit we used to get amazing fruit. Aw, they're all awful. Aw. Mental hunger always, for me, always leads into snacking without thinking. It's not ideal, but food is so good. We got some flat peaches and I was so excited to be out there. So good. These were... Oh no! Oh. Peaches are something you really cannot buy at a grocery. Like, they have to be really local to be good. Because I don't think they ripen all that well once they're picked up, like pluck off the tree. I just about can get a decent watermelon at the Italian grocery. In the city, do not ever eat watermelon at a supermarket here. Aw. But watermelon is so good. I really miss how in the supermarkets you can get those chilled cuts, delicious sweet watermelon. That's what I usually get because it's a bit too heavy for me to hold back a full watermelon by foot. What I like of the pre-cuts too is that you can assess just how ripe they are. Ah, it's such a bummer. Watermelon is delicious. Sometimes it's not as fresh as one hopes, and I always worry about the cleanliness in the prep area. Yeah, that's a concern too. There are a few places that that can be a bit dodgy. I would much prefer to get a whole watermelon and bring it back, but it's a bit complex. It's heavy. I'm not very strong. But then you can wash it, the exterior, and then chop it, and you have watermelon for days. Have you seen the rubber watermelons this year? So far I've gotten to... What are they? I haven't heard about that. Watermelon. You cut it, then it just bends, and there is no snap. It's a weird. Ugh. Oh, good to know. Is that intentional? Or are they made like that on purpose? I like when the watermelon is firm and crispy. You know what I mean? Like the flesh is juicy, but crispy. I don't know how to say it. I kind of want to draw a watermelon, but that really has no. Okay, I used to work at an orchard for 20 years. Apples like a cold environment. They don't like being on the counter as air is their enemy and causes them to degrade. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Huh. Crispy is exactly how to explain what watermelon should be. It's crispy and juicy. And if it smells like a pumpkin, it's too ripe. Yes, firm with a snap on the watermelon. When it bends or is mushy, it's just... Oh yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. It's not a good texture when it's all mushy. The ones here can be the first two, but usually taste like nothing. Yeah, I guess the ones here are probably not that mind-blowing for that, but I like them anyway. Some apples, when refrigerated, can last up to 1 year depending on variety. Ida Reds actually have the longest storage. Wow, that's really fascinating. I really like apples, but I struggle with finding like crunchy ones. I like them really crunchy and crispy and juicy if possible. The opposite of a Red Delicious, basically. We always joke that Red Delicious apples are mealy and have leather instead of apple skin. Apples. Red Delicious are great for caramel apples. I think they're fine when you cook them, but for eating, like crunching into them, they're terrible. Cortlands are my favorite. Cortland. Okay. Crispy, juicy, and tart. Tart is fun in an apple. Love them. Red Delicious are now gross sugar balls. The rubbery watermelon has been happening. I'll keep an eye out. I don't think GMO... I think GMO gets a really bad rap, but I don't think it's all that bad, because if you think about it, like, we've been having seedless watermelons, and I'm pretty sure that's some sort of GMO manipulation, just through focusing on plants that don't produce a lot of seeds, to get to eventually plants that produce like just 1 or 2 seeds. Yes, they are, but vintage Red Delicious is better than a newer variety. You can find vintage Red Delicious. I ate one Red Delicious in my life that was really good. It was crispy and like sweet, but not too much. And the skin wasn't too thick, but that happened only once, ages ago. Oh man, apples. This is fascinating. Carrot by Smaj, you really know a lot about apples. Empire apples are actually some of the best. Our greenings are good too, as they are very tart. We used to buy a lot of Empire ones when I was a kid. My mom would buy a huge box of them and they would stay in the garage for the whole winter. And we would go and grab them. When they got to be a bit old at the end of the winter, she would make applesauce with it. Greenings, so more so than a Granny Smith, and the harder texture with more of a... Oh, that sounds amazing. Why do we only have the mushy apples at the store? The fellow who created GMOs won a Nobel Prize because they figured it saved millions of lives from starvation and from famine. They have their place. As with everything, I think the key with them is to not go too far. Like, we've been manipulating the genetics of food stuff for a really long time before, like, GMOs became a thing. Whether it's apple cultivars or bananas. But I feel like going too far is when you implement stuff in the seeds so that people cannot keep the seeds to grow a second harvest the year following. Like, when you become a butt about it, that's where I draw the line. When it's made for money, that's just not nice. But yeah, that golden rice, is it? I think that's it. The rice that has been modified to have some B vitamins in it, I think, to help people in impoverished areas have a lower chance of developing eyesight issues from lacking that vitamin. But yeah. Corn, when you think on it, is kind of a GMO because it's not the same as it used to be. We've really like focused. Yo. Salut. Oh, trop cute. I love that cat. Shiro came to tell us her point of view on GMOs. Yep. I don't know if you heard her chirp when she arrived. But she arrived, like, she jumped in frame and she went whoop, and she settled down in her box that's outside so that she can nap not in direct sunlight. Friend, yes. Agreed. We need to be especially careful when the food becomes less nutritious as a result of manipulation at the expense of pest control. And yes, one should always be able to propagate their own seed. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. Like, it's the same kind of energy that you get when you start separating a sort of holistic element into concentrated, like, part of it. For example, when you take corn and you make corn oil, corn sugar, like the high fructose corn syrup. Like, corn on its own is great, but when you start isolating elements of it, that's when you mess it up. It was Adobe subscription model energy. selective propagation. I gotta remember that. That's it. Technically, most of the things we grow for food have been manipulated one way or another thanks to selective propagation, yeah. Which is why heirloom and seed saving matters. There is a huge underground movement for that right now. Happy. Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. Like, heirloom tomatoes are really something that we see a lot. And I think I saw quite, quite a good amount of talk about heirloom grains and peppers too. Because I think ultimately people enjoy when their food tastes great. And a lot of that mass-produced factory farming stuff doesn't taste good. So it sort of makes the good tasting stuff more appealing, even if it's a bit more trouble to get your hands on some, or a bit more expensive. So Shiro came by earlier before I started the stream, and I had set up her box outside, and she went in it, and then she came out and she jumped off screen, and she, I couldn't see her. But I wonder if she only went a few feet away to sleep in the shade. And she took a bit of a nap there, and now she came back, because she came back from the direction she went off. And she did the reverse. She jumped in, circled around, and went in her box for a nap. She's so funny. Like, for context, she's a very small cat that must be no more than 5 pounds. And she has humans. She's someone's cat. But in the summer, her vibe is to spend as much time outside as possible, so she hardly ever goes home. And she spends a lot of her time here, on this, like, property of sort. And it's really funny, because I don't know why she does that. I mean, sure, I kind of take care of her, but we have other cat visitors, and they don't spend all their time here. They just visit, get a snack, get a couple of pets, chill out, and then they go do other stuff. But she spends a lot of her time here, so it's really funny. It's like her summer home. But sometimes we hadn't seen her for the whole morning. So when that happens, I always wonder what she was doing. Like, what's a little 5-pound cat doing with its time in the summer in, like, the city suburbia or something? I'm really curious about that. Like, is she on someone else's property, like, eating their food or chilling out? Is she roaming around, just exploring? The life of a little cat. Hey, Paulo! A hybridized approach is much different than that of a GMO approach, yeah. Hey, a buddy of mine, when he was at the University of Guelph, developed a variety of potato that had purple-blue flesh. They were bizarre looking, but tasted great. You can get purple flesh potato here. They're really interesting because the flesh is purple. When it's raw, it's really purple. When you cook it, it gets a bit more blue. But the skin, when you cook it, it kind of looks silvery. It's really fancy. And it tastes like a potato, so. Hi, Paolo. I don't know if I said hi, but hi. Cat should come pre-installed with geo-trackers. Oh, I wish. I wish. That would be so interesting. I saw a video once. It was a video made in the UK, but they tracked cats, like with geo-trackers, so that you could see what was their daily route or like daily territory, what they would do. Some cats would stay within a very specific small area. Some cats would roam really far and come back. Some cats would spend like their whole day in the neighbor's yard because there was food there. Like that kind of stuff. It was super funny. Also, it had a lot of cats, so very enjoyable. Ube. I don't think we call it ube. It's just purple flesh potato over here. Like it's grown here because I get it from the farmer's market. So, but they're really fancy. Like when you make like roasted potatoes with them, and the flesh is all silvery, or like a bit the look of mercury. It's really cool. I don't know what else to draw. I don't know. Maybe I have enough little visual doodle like that. This one is good. This one is fine. This needs research. Oh, also last week we had Wagyu roast beef, and that was really tasty. A pumpkin? Ooh, fancy. I'm having Wagyu sushi. So, tataki, right? Like it's the same kind of thing, except on rice. That sounds fancy. It sounds yummy. Ah, beef. Yeah, happy birthday, Otto. Duh. Oh, I can't wait for Halloween. Fall, you can't come too fast. Fall, you're the best season. It's a thin slice of Wagyu made into a nigiri, then grilled with a gas burner, then finished with a light sprinkle of salt. That sounds amazing. I think that the fact that they lightly grill it, oh, that's gotta be so good. I'm so looking forward to it. Understandable. Fully. Pumpkin, some corn. I should put a squash there. I miss stew weather. Can we bring back stew weather, please? Please. No, I need my beach vacation. Well, I mean, you always have nice weather where you live, don't you? Like even your winter and fall are quite nice and warm. I doubt you get snow, do you, Paulo? Not quite. Yeah, no snow. So I mean, it's not that dreadful of a change. Oh, but oh, that's Nugget. I realize that I often kind of splice in French Canadian things when I speak English, which is really weird when you think on it. It's like the French Canadian sort of words that are used as punctuation that I'm used to, they make their way into English as well sometimes. And it's kind of odd when I realize it. I also saw videos of people from New Brunswick. And New Brunswick is on the very east side of Canada. And some areas of New Brunswick have a very particular feature that they have Acadie, anyway. So they speak French and English, but in a different way, and sometimes they will speak the two languages together in sentences. And I was watching a video of people speaking, I think it's called Chiac, but they were speaking it, and I realized that I have no problem following. But yeah, it's like their brain always switches from French to English as they speak. But it's not as messy as it sounds. Anyway, to me. I guess someone perhaps from France would be really more confused possibly with this whole thing, but it's really interesting. Must be like Gibraltarian, a mix of English and Spanish, changing many times within one sentence. Yeah, I guess so. Very similar in concept in any way. Oh my god, I worked for an Acadian guy and I had to translate to the Aussie who married my friend from time to time. It's hilarious. Was he speaking like this dialect of French and English together, or just his accent was so strong when he was speaking English? That must have been so funny. I think a lot of people in Acadie, in Acadia, in New Brunswick, they speak French, but they have such a strong accent too. It's really funny. It's funny. It's always funny watching people trying to figure it out. Which reminds me, I was on the bus today. As much as I love summer, there is one thing about summer that is really annoying, is the amount of dust that gets in. I love the wind. I live for windy days, but oh my gosh, the dust. It's just, there's a layer of dust on everything. And you clean it up, and then half an hour later, there's still a layer of dust on everything. Mostly English, but he threw random French words, and thankfully I could figure out the meaning most of the time. That's so funny. Oh, did he swear in French? Oh, me too. Wind is my spirit. Yeah, I'm a wind person too. I love wind. But oh my gosh, the dust. The dust. Oh my god, that reminds me. I was on the bus today and a family of tourists, won't say which country because I don't want to offend people, got on the bus. Had some trouble with the tickets. They were grumbling about how they said it right and the driver got it wrong. And they ended that with, they talk funny here. Were they French? Tell me if they were French or French Canadian. It's only gonna make it funnier. Scotland who speak English. They talk fun. I think it's just the Scottish accent, possibly. I love the Scottish accent. It's so heartfelt. Box got it right. I can't. The US? Oh, if it's another English speaking country, that's even worse. Because in any country, depending on where you go, people are going to speak the same language on paper, but in practice it's going to sound different. So I get that, but to travel all that way and not understand the concept that people are going to speak differently from you is mind-blowing. Or that you might sound unintelligible to them, and that's your job to make yourself understood. That doesn't work with a lot of people. Laughing myself. So I'm in Kentucky about a dozen years ago. Had to ask directions to Versailles Avenue. Oh no. Guy had no idea what we were talking about. I think for a moment, and then say, "Where's Versailles?" Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, totally fine if they were not from an English-speaking country. They were clearly from an English-speaking country. Oh, I mean, I get that. It's the same. Like if you're in Canadian, French Canadian areas, and you either get people from France or you go over there, and it's technically on paper the same language, but in reality it is not. I lived in Dubois. That sentence, if you said it with a French flair, Dubois. Not mentioning any names. Where's Versailles? Oh, oh, it hurts. It hurts. I got hobby-free sunglasses because at the sunglass hut the cashier was like the 100th person say, "Oh, you have an accent, say this word," to my hubby, and I pretended to be super offended. I'm laughing like a maniac in real life. And in Ireland, I totally encountered a farmer whose accent I can only describe as Irish boomhauer. Is that the guy from King of the Hill that was absolutely unintelligible? Pretty sure he was playing it up to see if I could understand him. I think I surprised him. One thing I really hope I get a chance to do one day is to be in a different country that doesn't speak French Canadian. So that's got that's kind of there's a lot of those. But I want to end up in a situation where I end up swearing out loud in full-on French Canadian, and just that's gonna make me feel so much better about whatever situation justified the swearing. I got destroyed for pronouncing foyer like foyer when I first moved to Canada Land years and years ago. Listen, I'm from the Southwest States. We say foyer. We grew up calling it the foyer. It's foyer in French anyway. There's always word like that, like you know, the thingies for the boats and the waters. It's written like you should say it quays, but it's like keys. Or a buoy that's written like buoy. And what is buoyancy? Is it buoyancy? What? Those are stupid words, no? Aren't they? Why do you write it quay? Is it if it's key? Queen isn't pronounced keen. Yeah, exactly. A K. K? A Queen? Oh, I don't know. In French, it's a K. Un quai pour les bateaux. Like it's... And a buoy is une bouée. So if you just made up words and used the French pronunciation, you could have just picked up the French words for these things, like when you do for niche and touché and bon appétit and... In Kentucky, they've anglicized all the French name. Calumet Farms is Calumet. Ooh, very jarring. But that sounds like it would be a real struggle to figure out how to say those things if you know how to pronounce things in French. Because your first instinct is going to be to say it in French, and then you have to figure out how not to say it like that. Words are dumb, I love them. Yeah, they are dumb. Quail isn't kale. Are you sure about that? No, yeah. Key, whatever, that's stupid. And then you also have like the Florida Keys, which is something else water related, but I still have friends and family I can anger instantly with one little word. Konoko. And not their way of Konoko. What is that? My best friend is American with a French last name. She adores how I pronounce it. It sounds so classy when you say it. Oh, it's an old gas brand. I used to live in Gibraltar. Ooh, what a small world to hear someone mention that place. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. I'm getting sweaty. Oh, I'm gonna end the stream. Anyway, we're just chit-chatting. I enjoy the chit-chatting, but I always feel like it's not a it's not really interesting for people to watch because there's nothing to watch. Sorry. I'm so proud of those stickers. They look so good on my book. Look! These are sticker patches, but these are beautiful stickers. It's a lot of kitties and then pirates and then cute animals. Yeah, these are stickers. They're sticker patches. They're really fun for customizing sketchbooks that have fabric covers. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today, guys. I really appreciate your company during our usual live streams. And unless some scheduling thing happened, there should be a live stream next Saturday, same time, same place. And I hope you guys have a great week. I hope it's not too hot during the week where you live. And until then, I hope you have a great time. Have some ice cream, some ice cold water, whatever, iced tea. And see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Shiro says bye too, by the way. Bye. Oh, good luck, Ellen.